This next one is called crooked lifts, and so this one is kind of where we're going to be using our forearm bone, and we're kind of it kind of runs our opponent over, and then you can go. It's called bundle, or there's a cradle option, and then again this is just a really good position that you want to get to really wear on your opponent, get your riding time, and you can really gauge and catch his timing and see what our opponent's looking for. So as I'm in the position, I can really relax and see, all right, does he like to sit out? Does he want to come up? Does he grab my hand? Is he just content laying there? So this is a good position that you really want to get to really assess what your opponent's doing, how strong he is, his timing, his energy levels, how hard does he really fight in this position. This is a real good position to get to where you can really gauge your opponent. And so when we get him flat, right? So now it's illegal to like just like grab your opponent right here and do it. So you have to kind of be below the shoulder and above the elbow, because anything above that, it's like obviously illegal, and anything below this is illegal. And so what I want to do is I want to use my forearm bone and turn this on actually. And what's really important too is I have these things on standby in case he wants to shoot up. Right, so as I'm working this, I kind of always, I'm not really hooking his ankle to where he knows, he's hooking my ankle to him. I kind of just leave it dangling, so that if he does pop up, right, then I hook it, and then I kind of just bring it back flat. But I kind of I'm aware, and I kind of keep my positioning to position myself in that, so if anything happens, I can always get it back to where it needs to be. And so I use this bone, I use my thumb bone as well, and make my hand go straight. And I come right across the kid's nose, like right where his nose, and where he can do his lips or whatever. That's why it's called crooked lip. And then I post on this elbow, and I kind of just go crooked lip right over here. It's really hard for the soft. And then once I get it here, right, I don't want to grab my fingers, so that's why I kind of put my fingers into the mat. So I use my mat as highway between it. Head to your set. So what I'm talking about here is I'm nice and high. I have this on standby, make my hands go straight. I kind of use this to block his elbow. Right, I go crooked lips over. I grab his tricep, and now when I grab his tricep, I'm going to like throw my hand in the mat. Now, this is kind of dependent on how our opponent reacts to this, right? And so usually what I want to do is I'm going to throw this hand, I'm going to get his like head, and my elbows up towards the ceiling, and then I want to keep his arms straight. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna throw like my hip on the far side. So in this video, it's my right hip. Right, this is his left arm that I have trapped. So I'm throwing my right hip down. Right, I'm gonna throw this hand into the middle so he can't like walk his feet over and kind of get out. Right, I want to trap his feet. So I'm gonna post right at his knee and kind of block it so he can't move. And now I'm really, as I'm going over, I really got to make sure that I keep his head close to the mat as possible, like arms straight, because if not, it's going to be really hard to get him turned. So as I'm doing all this, I want to really make sure that my elbow is not just being relaxed. My elbow is really fighting this position, keeping his head towards the mat. And then now I want to get my right butt on the mat, and I kind of want to walk up and kind of just guide his body up and over. And then once I get him turned over, what I like to do, now I'm going to keep walking. I like to really turn, like switch my hips, and I like to like really get my hips trapped on him like this, and then I kind of catch him in this position. I kind of have his elbow on my hip, and then now I can kind of really cinch him in and get the pin right here. All right, I don't really like to kind of walking around because sometimes I have a hard time really getting locked. So I really try thinking about get under this elbow and this shoulder on my hip, and once I get it over, it's almost like any position where like you're finishing a shot and you want to table something. I kind of think about using my hips to kind of table his elbow and his shoulder. So again, when you have crooked lifts, it's real important. This can be really slow and just torture. Again, like I'm really paying attention. Like I'm just crooked lifts right here. And I can even just keep this right here. I'm just seeing like how he's reacting, like what he's doing, right? Play with his hands, get him over here. All right. So again, I'm right here, I mess with his hands. I put my thumb bone, my wrist, and that bone just on his nose, and kind of just playing with him, right? And then once I'm going to get him over, I trap this elbow right here, and I go to his tricep. Once I go to his tricep, I put my hand and I hide it on the mat, and I do that. I throw my elbow up to the ceiling. Now I want to make my arm go straight as well. So I'm putting my arm straight in a straight line. I'm using it as a curl bar because my arm is bent. You see how he just changed the position from when my arm is bent towards when it's straight. There's a big difference between this position and this position. This is probably the most important part of this move. So I make sure I hide my fingers, my arm goes straight, this back hand goes right at his knee level, right? And once I get to his knee level, I'm walking, my right butt cheek down on that. I'm aiming my butt to get underneath this arm, right? Walking, and as I get up turn, that's my kind of open up this leg, and I kind of open my hips up right here, and I kind of readjust and sink my hips up because I have this spine already buckled up. And then now I can take this one out, and I can just swap them over, and I really keep this leg trapping for 7 minutes. And that's part one to basic crooked lifts.